Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a timely tarot oracle reading about random shift. If you resonate with the title and the thumbnail, this is the perfect reading for you, delivered at the perfect time in timely fashion, courtesy of the universe, through the language of synchronicity. This is a collective or general reading, so just be aware parts may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you, leave the rest. It's also a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it has been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then, that may give you further clarity as to your situation now. The beginning of this reading will be tarot, and it's usually about 2/3 of the reading. And then I will clarify with my oracle, Tattletales from Tales from the Vector, for those of you who want further clarification. We're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, and that is the Wounded Warrior. All right, so this is the Nine of Wands. And so the Nine of Wands represents someone that has successfully landed 8 wands, and they're leaning on the ninth. It's been challenging for them to accomplish this. They're tired, they're exhausted, and they're leaning on this last action here. And they are, they're determined. They're still standing, but it's been a challenging time. And the Wounded Warrior represents someone that has been on his destined path. And sometimes the destined path can be very challenging. Okay, and the reason, a big part of this is that he's looking at his pentacles here, and pentacles represent health, wealth, happiness, and abundance in the 3D world. And of course, a big part of that is money, so there is coin here. But, you can have all the coin in the world and still not be living your lifestyle. But in this case, it looks like he's he's got 6 coins here. And he's only got 1 here, and he's like, I worked this hard, and this is what I have out of it. And he's like, there's got to be a better way to do this, or maybe I should just quit and go in a different direction. But there's no way that I should have way more than this for all the work I've put into this. What's going on here? That's the energy. And we have the 8 of Swords coming in. So the 8 of Swords is talking about someone who's in a mental prison, basically. Feeling like you can't get out of a situation that you want to get out of. And clearly you want to get out of this situation. This is the energy that you're in. This is all like, this is, not making the money, or your investment of your time and energy is not bringing in a fair exchange, basically. And this energy here is talking about being in a mental prison because of it. And we have there's 7 here, and 8 here, and 9 here. So it's almost like it was, it's a progression. So yeah, when you work this hard and you only get that out of it, then you're wondering why, and then you're exhausted because you still are doing it. This represents taking action. So 7, 8, 9. So this card is talking about someone who feels duty bound in some way, and also can't see the whole picture to move out, and so they don't really understand what to do to walk out of this. But when you look at it, you can see that this person could remove themselves from this this prison, because they are, there's nothing really stopping them except themselves. And but she does have 1 foot on dry land here, and her left foot in shallow water. So I feel like when I see this card that there was way more water here before, and now it's drying up. And as she worked through the swords, because these are representing your thoughts on how to get out of a situation, as she's, and maybe taken steps of action, and that's representing the actions that she's taken to get out. And now this is where you're at here now, is with this leaning on this action. So now this is the next action. I feel like this is, okay, there wasn't enough return or exchange for what you put into something, and you feel duty bound to continue. You feel like this is your destined path and you need to continue, but you've managed to get through, 7 of the swords, and you've just got one more, like, okay, there's one more major issue here that I have to contend with, and managed to land 8 of them. So, you're actually doing really well. You're leaning on the 9th, and this sword could be talking about what is that action that I'm going to take next. Yeah, it's like, and quite often when I see this card, I think, well, there was way more water here before, and this is almost like the tears that this person has cried just trying to get out of this situation. And that water is more shallow now. So even though her left foot is still in water, it's more shallow. Not saying that the emotions are shallow, but that she's gone through a lot of emotion, and now it's more about, okay, enough emotion, let's move forward. And look at this, then we have 10. The 10 of Cups. So the 10 of Cups represents ultimate fulfillment in a perfectly imperfect world. It represents, like, having the partner of your dreams and children, and living in a beautiful home like this looks like in a beautiful rural area in a country that you love, and you love your career, and you love your neighbors, and you love the people you work with. So an ultimate fulfillment. Really awesome. So there's hope here for sure. Let's keep going here. Let's see what else comes up. All right, so these 8 wands that you managed to land represent conception of a new beginning. I feel like that's it was worth all your hard work, because right around the corner is this is saying keep going, because a lot of times people quit right before they're about to achieve their goal, and that's when it seems to be the hardest, And so this is conception, saying that these are the wands that have landed, and now that you have these landed, the next one is going to be much easier to get to the fulfillment. I feel like this is saying the success is already on its way. This can also represent conception of a child, but we don't really have, we have that, because we have this energy here, so I'm just, we'll keep going. There's justice coming in. So justice can be just living a really good life and moving out of this energy, or it could be something that you really require justice from. This figure is wielding the sword of justice, which is a double-edged sword. And so I feel it might be this last one. So maybe there's something that's going on, but now justice is coming in, so there's hope. And that because you stayed in the game this long, as hard as it was, and landed these 8, that changed things. This can represent like the veil between the spiritual and the physical realm. So justice begins on the spiritual level, and then it comes down to the physical. And so this is representing both spiritual justice and also justice in the 3D. And she also has her right foot forward, like this individual. So this, they're both ready to move forward at the same time. So I feel, yes, this is getting better. And the justice is also on the ultimate fulfillment. There's a tower that hits. The tower, a lot of times it's very upsetting looking, but I feel like this can represent a tower already hit, and that's what causes this now to move forward. I feel that if there's some justice that needs to come in, the tower hits and causes that justice to be in your favor. Justice is a two-edged sword. So, the tower represents like when the universe has been whispering to you, hey, you need to look at that. And then it's like, you know, you don't listen. So then the frying pan comes out, whack on the head. And you're like, oh, that hurt. I'll deal with it next week. I don't have time right now. Okay, you promise? Yeah, I promise. Okay, but then you don't deal with it. And then the 2x4 comes out, and then the lightning has to hit the tower. It's a matter of degrees, like, but the truth has to come out, justice has to prevail. And so there's two people falling out of the tower. One looks totally surprised. The other one's kind of like, I was wondering when this was going to happen, kind of energy. And so they're not going to be living in that tower very much, you know, for a while here, because they're going to have to rebuild it if they want to have something there. So it can represent that there was a tower earlier, but I feel more that this is the tower that causes the justice to come in. So towers are, a lot of times people don't, I mean, towers are uncomfortable for sure, but sometimes that's what's needed to move a situation forward. Yes, and then the Hierophant comes in. This is confirming this, that the Hierophant is coming in. A Hierophant is responsible for bringing justice in from the spiritual and into the physical. So if you're a person that is religious, then this figure would represent like a pope, a cardinal, a bishop, you know, someone very high up in the church kind of energy. And, you know, if it's more of a spiritual thing for you, then it represents like God himself coming down and cleaning up, you know, giving direction to people. These two monks here have their heads shaved in tenure so that they can receive the information better. And this is talking about, you know, the Hierophant is like traditional structure. So this can be also like a Supreme Court judge, you know, like a judge that's high up, someone that has the authority to bring justice to this situation, and he has his hand in the form of a blessing, which is confirming that this tower, this reality check is actually in your favor. All right, so we'll go some more here. This is a long time waiting. And it does have something to do with these pentacles, for sure. Because the Knight of Pentacles, the knights would work for the king and queen, of course, you know, protecting the kingdom and delivering messages from kingdoms far and wide. And of course, that would be by horse. These days, the information could come in, you know, it doesn't have to be in person. It could be a phone call. It could be a letter in the mail, an email, a text message. It could be something, a message on social media, you know, or you go to an event and bump into someone, and that's the person that is able to empower the situation. It can also even just be something on the news. What happens on the news at the top, you know, of what's going on in the world trickles down to the average people that are living out their lives. And so this is talking about each of the knights has their own element, and this knight is responsible for the element of the pentacle, and this represents earth and earthly matters. So sometimes this energy, like when it does come in, it's a very solid offer. It can represent, you know, real estate, land, you know, because it's earth. It can be some sort of inheritance. It could be, it's a lot of money though. It's not like just a pennies. It's a good amount. And when the Knight of Pentacles comes in, he's slow, but his information is usually very solid. And it's a legacy, usually for generational wealth that you can hand down to, you know, your children and your children's children, basically. So there's a lot of, like, it's not just a little bit of money missing, it's a lot of money missing. And so that's what this represents. This pentacle is a legacy of wealth. And then we have, and you know, the horse is at a total standstill because he's being careful to make sure that he goes the right way. But the Knight of Pentacles can be really frustrating because it takes so long. And then we have, but this is for your destined path. So the sun, when this information comes to you, you're going to be very happy. So you might know what that is, what this is about. This is the happiest card in the deck. This represents God. This is representing you as a child, like destined to be happy. And look at this, riding this horse, no reins, not even hanging on, not a fear in the world, and hanging on to this banner. And it feels like it's very much like this banner. And this is your destiny, and you're able to carry it with ease. All the sunflowers are turning to the sun, and they're all, which represents, following your destined path that God put you on earth for. Yay, wounded warrior, you did good. Like, it's not quite over yet, but it's getting there. And then we have at the top the Page of Swords coming in. So the Page of Swords is representing the pages would be around the age of 7 to 14, and they would work for the king and queen and come from neighboring families that were higher society, and sometimes even distant relatives of the king and queen, and they would deliver messages within the court. And the energy here is talking about this page, his element is the sword, and the swords do represent your thoughts, and they represent your mental intelligence, your ability to discipline your mind. And one thing I'm noticing here about this page is, like, he is looking away from his element, and he's all the other ones are focused on their elements. He's the only one that's looking away, which shows that he can think outside the box. And he understands that this is a double-edged sword, and he needs to be able to use his logic with his intuition to get a thought outside of this thought. And that's the answer here, is that she needs to use her intuition combined with her logic, and then she won't be in a constant question after question. Because if you ask a logical question, you're going to get a logical answer, but then that logical answer might have another question. And so if you ask a logical question and then you use your intuition to choose the right answer, then implement it with logic, you're going to get ahead of the game. This is also talking about, it's communication coming in, but sometimes this can be like a breath of fresh air and a thought that comes to you, and boom, it sets everything in motion, because this one thought that you have left is the right exact one, and that's the action that you take. And when you take whatever action that is, maybe hiring a lawyer. It may be going to the police and saying, hey, this happened, and hopefully they'll do something about it. This energy is, and if not, you have to go to the top and get the job done kind of energy. That's what this is saying. And that might be part of the battle, but it's already been conceived. This is already in motion. And this page reminds me always of a golfer. And, you think about golfing and how if... the first hole is like really, really bad, and it's kind of like that energy. This person had like a rough game, but he hung in there, and now he has a hole in one. And it took him till the 9th hole, but hey, he hung in there, and he disciplined his mind so that he could just keep going. That's the energy that I'm picking up. Like, golf is a very mental sport, and so is life, actually. Because it's hard to stay standing when you've had 8 challenges that are this hard. But you managed to do it. Good for you. Congratulations. And it's going to pay off. It looks like it's not now. But this Hierophant is coming in with a blessing. And I feel like if there's something on the other side, this is more like a reality check for the opposing energy, and it has this tower is actually a blessing in disguise for you, because it's right after that the information that you need comes in, and then you have, okay, now I know what I need to do. I can step out and walk away from this. And that's the happiest card in the deck. If you've been enjoying this reading, please do give it a like and comment. It really does empower me to build my channel. And I'm going to clarify with my oracle for the rest of you. Before I do that, though, I'm just going to go from the bottom to the top and back down. So we have, there's not the return you would expect for all the work you've put into this, and you're clearly exhausted because of it. But there's a blessing coming in because justice is on its way. And there has been a reality check to bring this justice in, a tower. And this is talking about the information that you need to find out what happened to these pentacles is finally coming in. And now you have it. Now that you know that, now that's what you needed. Aha! Now I've got it. Now I know exactly what I need to do. This is the sun. Now you're happy. This is the happiest card in the deck, and it sheds light on the whole situation. And you were destined to have this good fortune, so it's coming in for you. Justice is going to be served. It's already on its way. And congratulations, because it's because you were standing. So this fulfillment is on its way. And I'm going to clarify now. And this is my oracle, Tales from the Vector. And I started this in 2007 and completed the 64th painting in 2020. And I've had it out at my seminars in the past when I was teaching seminars, and also, you know, at psychic fairs and that, but I didn't have all the paintings done. So the cards, there was missing a few. And now I have all of them done, and I'm getting ready to bring it out, but I'm working on the information that goes along with it. So on these cards are numbers, and the numbers I will, in the description box below, I'll list them in the order that they appear here. That's the order that they appear in my gallery on my website, talesfromthevector.com. That's TAILS. The information will be in the description box below. So we have, for the underlying energy, we have the Temperance card. So this is saying, yes, it was a long wait and you were very patient and you were devoted to staying on your destined path. And that's why you are going to be receiving this blessing. And this is like, we're talking like generational wealth coming in. So maybe that was something that went missing, or you know, there was something that went wrong here, and this can represent a court. Sometimes this can represent being like a physical prison. So it could represent that someone has done something illegal, and there needs to be justice, and there's a judge at the very top. This could even be something like a class action suit, or it could be something that had to go all the way to the Supreme Court, and then you win in Supreme Court kind of energy. There's a perception. So this is talking about the grass is greener on the other side, but then you realize it's fake. So there could have been somewhere that, sorry, Stella, my cat is, sorry, she's just bumped the camera here. She's got happy feet. She's purring. Oh, well, we have perception. And she says, well, what do you want? I'm purring. Isn't that what you want? Yes. Purr is a very high vibration. It's very healing. So, yeah, the grass is green on the other side because it's fake. But you can have green grass from putting all this work in. You know, you just have to water it and fertilize it and cut it often and weed it, and you'll have a beautiful lawn, and it won't be fake, it'll be real. And then we have karmic space coming in of attachment. So this is talking what's yours is mine and what's mine is mine. So I feel like somehow your money was misappropriated, or your work, or something happened. This is the mother of all the karmic spaces that we can easily fall into. There's direct karma, which is directly from our actions or inactions, and then there's indirect karma, which can be our ancestors or even our descendants, and sometimes just our acquaintances. And then we have karmic spaces, which are karma that we can easily all fall into. And attachment is the mother of all, because once you become attached to something, then you can justify whatever to keep it. It's that kind of energy. So there was some sort of destruction that came in. This is a tactic. What's fun for some is not fun for everyone. So something happened here. You would know if you're in this situation. Maybe you don't know what happened, but you know something happened and it disrupted your journey. Having said that, you hung in there and you had the patience to stay on your path. There was temptation here. I feel like you might have been tempted and stayed on your path anyway, but other people were tempted by this legacy of wealth, and that may be it. I just keep getting the words misappropriated funds. Misappropriated, I don't know exactly if technically what that would mean. I mean, it's theft, I would say on a shorter word, but misappropriated could also be, it was designated for you, but it was sent to someone else accidentally. Like, it's just a weird energy. I'm getting it's something misappropriated. I'll have to look it up and maybe I'll post it and tell you what it said about it. But it's almost like someone who was in charge of it didn't get it to you, and then now you have to go through all this work to be able to get what is already yours, and you should have just been given it. So that's the energy I'm getting. But this is because someone was tempted. And so when the devil card comes out, this is about temptation, and you're not going to get the truth from the devil. The devil always sends a minion in. So I always take the next card and I cover it to see, okay, who did he send in? Or does God cover you? Or what happens here? Why did it happen? Okay, so this is the karmic space of intent. So yes, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I don't think that this energy had good intentions. And they were tempted by the amount of money or whatever, and they felt they had circumstances that they could maybe get away with this, something like that. And then we have, and it's really weird because for some reason I'm getting the word veterinarian, and I don't know why, but that might mean something to you. There's mother's worry coming in, and so mother's worry is it could be your mother's worried, but I feel like this is more, a lot of people call the earth Mother Earth, and it's on this pentacle, and the pentacle's here. So it's something, I don't know, like you would have a better idea, but it's not like a regular everyday case. It's something that has government ties to it or something. It's something that you like. I keep getting like kind of like a class action suit or that kind of energy, something like that. And so a lot of people are worried about the planet right now because it seems like there's so much crazy stuff happening, and we get our information more quickly. So it feels like it's something that it's not just you that's worried about. There's other people that are also involved that are maybe involved in this energy, and now because you all got together, you're going to get justice. That's how it's something like that. It could be, I don't know exactly. I have some ideas, but I don't want to bring them out because they're just, it could be a bazillion things actually. And so this is denial. So at some point here, it took you a while to realize what was going on, and then you didn't want to believe that that's actually what happened. And so, or what's happening was unbelievable, and you had a hard time convincing people, no, this is really happening. And right now on the planet, we're seeing a lot of that. This reading is in February of 2026. And so there's a lot happening because of all the files that were dumped from the Epstein files. And so a lot of people are like in disbelief that this could actually be happening. And so we're all kind of seeing things going like that, in ways we just didn't think were possible. We have the Emperor here at the top. So the Emperor energy is talking about performance. And so I feel that it could be that you got this thought, and then this Emperor is someone that you're going to hire, or someone that has been hired to deal with this. And so whatever this is, I feel like it's already in the process of being resolved, and that you will come through, and that it required a lot of patience. So hang in there, and we'll see what, I wish you all the best in this, because it feels like it's on the way. Like it's saying right here, it's on the way, and it's destined for you. I do hope you've enjoyed this reading. Please do give it a like and comment if you have. And if you resonate with the energy of the channel, consider subscribing. It would be my honor if you did so. And I will be back with another random reading at some random time. Bye for now.